It's the most dangerous race in the world. 31 terrifying jumps packed into 4.5 miles. It's 10 minutes of absolute mayhem.
The jockeys go hell for leather. They're riding flat out into this fence. The crowd are going mad and there's horses going all over the place. You think to yourself, what am I doing?
No wonder they call it the Devil's Race. In the heart of Europe is the beautiful and historic city of Prague, the capital of the Czech Republic. People here are passionate about horse racing. On October 12th every year, the city empties to a small town called Pardubice, 100 miles away. Here, the highlight of the racing year, the Grand Velka Pardubice, takes place. Racing fanatics gather to share the excitement and danger of this famous race, which has been run here for more than 100 years. The world's top steeplechase jockeys come here for a unique experience. Nowhere else will they race over 4.5 miles of rough country, jumping over 31 huge natural obstacles. Fatal accidents occur 4 times more frequently in steeplechasing than in motor racing. But a horse is not a car. It takes a special bond of trust and courage between horse and rider to get them to the finishing post. The Pardubice demands a jockey who is skilled, fearless, and strong enough to guide 3/4 of a ton of horse over massive obstacles while galloping at 30 miles per hour. And it demands a horse who is brave, can take huge jumps at full speed, handle tight corners, and won't panic when it sees the fence. In over 100 years, the jumps have changed very little. 10 men and over 120 horses have died here. Not once has every rider finished the race. In 1909, all the horses fell. No one finished at all. Jockeys wrap their reins around their wrists, giving them a better chance of jumping back on after a fall. Even then, one horse can bring down another, like a multiple pileup on a highway. Razor-sharp reactions are essential if horse and rider are to survive. No one knows this better than Václav Halúbka, who won this race 4 incredible times. His relationship with his famous horse Korok is legendary.
I remember I got Korok when I was 15, and he was a yearling, just a colt. Every day I used to run 10 miles to the stable to be with him. I saved Korok from being destroyed. Everyone thought he was useless because he had a twisted front leg. I started training and thinking of the race. I knew Korok could overcome his disability because he had such a big heart. Day by day, step by step, we worked together. I will never forget Korok. With him, it was something more than the usual relationship between a horse and a rider. It was a friendship, something that only happens once in your life, like true love.
Now Václav has retired as a jockey, but is determined that his new horse Bedilios will be this year's winner. Bedilios is a 6-year-old stallion. He reminds Václav of Korok, a horse with a big jump and a big heart. Václav has been training Bedilios for the last 3 years, especially for the Pardubice. Now he jumps anything, and Václav believes that he could be the next Korok. All he needs is the right jockey. Guy Lewis arrives from England. He is the jockey Václav has chosen to ride Bedilios to victory. At 24, Guy is a rising star on the British steeplechase circuit. Guy and Bedilios have a good chance of winning. But he's arrived too late to exercise him. The first time they will actually ride together will be the race itself. they will be up against some stiff competition. The hot favorite is 45-year-old Joseph Vanya. Apart from Václav, he is the only other man to have won the Pardubice 4 times. Once he fell at the second-to-last fence, but remounted and won the race. This is his comeback, his first major race since losing a lung in a terrible racing accident 2 years earlier. Another returning champion is the Russian heartthrob Vladislav Shnitkovsky. The horse he rode to victory last year is injured. So this year, he'll be riding the Czech horse Parawan for the first time. Ironically, Parawan is a grandson of the famous Korok. Whether he has his grandfather's talent remains to be seen. Joseph and Vronsky are also out exercising on the course. If Joseph wins this year, he will be the only jockey to have won this race 5 times. But a lot depends on his new horse, Vronsky.
I found this horse, Vronsky, in a market in Germany. It was terrible. He had been very badly treated. For 3 years, I nursed him back to health. Now he can jump anything. He's at the peak of his career. We have trained hard and won many races together, but the Pardubice means the most to me.
Joseph reckons that the Pardubice is a man's race, but makes an exception for his only woman pupil, Lucy Balachova. Out of the 15 riders, Lucy is the only woman. She's won 4 races this year. Tomorrow she'll be riding her own horse, 9-year-old Gretty.
I always dreamed of riding in the Pardubice. Now here I am. Gretty is excellent at jumping and believes in himself. My only fear is other jockeys colliding with us. I mean, a race is a race. Anything can happen.
She'll be riding against her fiancé, Pavel Kazny. He rode here last year, but didn't even finish in the top 3. Although the couple work together in the stables every day, when they race against each other, each one rides to win. Guy walks the course because Bedilios has already been exercised. Normally, this is not a problem. As a top steeplechase jockey, he races 5 or 6 strange horses a day. But in the Pardubice, knowing your horse is as important as knowing the course.
This is the taxis which has made the race so famous. It doesn't look too big from this side, but it's the one I'd probably fear the most. There's a big ditch at the side, and many horses have landed inside there over the years.
Guy can remember last year's race all too well. This is where he fell.
It's the 4th fence, which is only half a mile into the race. The jockeys go hell for leather. They're riding flat out into this fence. The crowd are going mad, and this horse is going all over the place. You think to yourself, what am I doing? This is the landing side of the taxis. Big ditch, about 10 foot from the top of the hedge there to down here. This is where I don't want to be.
Guy meets Václav to discuss strategy at the taxis. Although Guy has not ridden the horse, he must have faith in Bedilios.
Shorten the gates and wait for the jump.
Skočí hodně daleko.
And jump, a spacey jump.
The taxis is not the only obstacle that has Guy worried.
This here's the bank. It's the next obstacle after the taxis. It's a bit of an odd one. The horse has to jump from here, scramble up to the top, and make his way down to the other side. If I've got this far, basically my next problem is finding my way around.
Guy hopes that he will be able to hold Bedilios back so that he can follow the more experienced riders. The course twists and turns over fields and through woods. No signposts point the way. Jockeys often get lost. Over a mile of the race is run across plowed fields. For the horse, this is like trying to gallop through snow. Totally exhausting. Water jumps have been banned from most race courses. The Pardubice still has 7. The fourth fence, the taxis, is the biggest and most dangerous jump on any race course in the world. It's a massive hedge concealing a gut-wrenching 10-foot drop the other side. Galloping horses will try and dodge this threatening bank. Jockeys must battle to get them over it. One jump straight after another saps the energy of an exhausted horse. These hedges don't collapse on impact. They've been growing here for 200 years. No one can afford to take any chances. Václav chooses a new set of racing shoes for Badilios. Because he's a thoroughbred, his hooves are soft and delicate. Shoes are not heated up, merely hammered into place. Guy finally meets Pardubice, just hours before he's to race him. He's much bigger than the horse he rode last year, which is an advantage, and Guy is relieved. In the race, each horse must carry a certain weight. If jockeys are over this weight, they are disqualified. Guy is with Joseph, his main rival.
What they say? I'm in the sauna because I have to lose some weight. Most jockeys, especially in England, live in saunas nearly. We always in a sauna happen to lose 2 or 3 pounds, and it's part of the job.
Many jockeys spend their careers 30 pounds under their natural weight, and yet have to be strong enough to control a racehorse. Evening falls. Lucy gives her horse Gretty his feed. And Joseph brushes Vronsky. Badilios is settled for the night. But who will be tomorrow's hero and win the $50,000 prize? Race day. Some of the horses have a last-minute warm-up while the crowds gather for the 107th Pardubice. Before the Grand Velka, there are 8 races over easier courses. In the jockey's changing room, tension mounts. Guy, like many of the other jockeys, has got his weight down in the sauna and by not eating for 2 days. Guy has already ridden in another race this morning, but this is the big one. He's worried he won't remember the way if Badilios pushes to the front of the others. But his real fear is the danger of falling off.
For the race.
Thank you. 1 in 10 rides works out to be a fall. The horses do fall, and whether you're getting seated or whether the horse buries you into the ground and lands on top of you. I mean, it happens, and it's your job to try and not make it happen. But injury-wise, I've been very lucky. I've broken collarbones and different things here, there and everywhere, and a lot of concussion. Most of the time, if a horse falls, the jockey can't do much about it, but you've always got that element that you can fall off. Horses can jump fences pretty well, and you can end up just slipping off the side of the saddle.
Lucy and her fiancé Pavel are both ready.
Finish now. Yeah, finish. Who's going to win then?
Each rider has a different way of psyching themselves up. The Russian, last year's winner, seems tense, unlike 4 times winner Joseph.
You can gain in the last yards.
Hodně štěstí, že mu závidím, že se může takhle svést.
I will do my best, yeah?
On dělá, co bude moci. He envies you the chance to ride this race and take this horse. Maybe next year.
Maybe next year.
But from now on, it's all up to Guy. The jockeys assemble in the parade ring. Lucy, number 2 in black and white. Her fiancé in red and pink looks behind him to see Guy, rider 11, in purple and green. Badilios is getting tense. Guy is riding with shorter stirrups than the other riders. It helps with speed, but does not help him get Badilios under control. Spectators jostle to get a prime seat on the grandstand near the taxis, where they'll see the most falls. Others are laying on a last-minute bet. Under the scrutiny of the enormous crowd, the jockeys are alone with their thoughts.
You do need a little bit of faith in your horse. There's no point going into it thinking, this horse won't get over. Your heart's beating, you're going to get butterflies, especially when you parading round in front of 6,000 people. Half of you's thinking, well, I must be mad.
All horses and riders must prove they are fit for the grueling course by clearing a practice jump. Badilios is becoming increasingly hard to control. Václav can see that horse and rider are in trouble. As the other horses take off over the practice jump, Guy tries to settle Badilios, but finds it difficult to hold him. Guy clears the practice jump well, and Badilios seems to be calmer. They follow the others to the start. Determined to catch up, Badilios nearly falls on the wet grass.
Všichni pojďte za ním za mnou.
There's no formal start line. The flag falls and they're off. At the second fence, the first man is down. As the 14 remaining horses swarm over the first of the 7 water jumps, the Russian is in the lead, with Lucy, Joseph, and Guy following close behind. Guy is in midfield, but as they turn the corner to the taxis, Badilios pushes into the lead. They approach the dreaded taxis. Badilios forces his way to the front. They clear it with a flying leap, while 2 riders come off. But now Badilios is running wildly, and Guy has leant too far back in the tiny saddle to regain control. Badilios is still in the lead, but Guy is nowhere to be seen. Guy is uninjured, but for the second year in a row, his race is over at the taxis. The race hurtles on. The Russian is in the lead, with Lucy in black and white close behind. Joseph is in the middle of the field. As they approach the second bank, halfway around the course, it looks as though the Russian, last year's winner, is going to do it again. But he is down. 5 riders are already out of the race as they approach the 4th water jump. Lucy finds herself in the lead. Joseph is creeping up beside her. Now 3.5 miles into the race, Lucy begins to drop back as they sweep into the plowed field, and Joseph is pushing into the lead. As they come out of the field and around the corner, Joseph puts on a tremendous burst of speed. With less than a mile to go, Joseph is in the lead, but Pavel Slozil on Marketplace is catching up. It's a 2-horse race. Joseph and Vronsky clear the last jump, but glancing back, Joseph sees Slozil still closing in. As they gallop into the final straight, Slozil closes a gap and looks like he'll overtake Joseph. They are neck and neck. Joseph wins by a head. Joseph is the first ever 5-times winner of the Grand Velka Pardubice. His wife leads Vronsky on a lap of honor as the reporters crowd in. Out of 15 riders, 10 have made it past the finishing post. Lucy is the first woman rider to come in the top 3. Her fiancé, Pavel, turning around to congratulate her, came in 5th. For Guy, it's been a different story. Perhaps if Václav had ridden Bedilios, he would be the 5-times winner.
If I'd have sat in it before, I'd have thought twice about riding it. Because I just couldn't hold it.
I am very pleased to become the world record holder for winning this race for the 5th time. It was very close, but I knew Vronsky could do it. He's a champion.
For Václav, Guy's fall has been a big disappointment.
Ztratil srdce.
He lost his heart.
Nevěřil si.
He didn't trust himself. He was leaning back even before the jump.
Bedilios skočil až 2 metry za taxis.
Bedilios, the horse, jumped 2 meters behind the ditch.
Myslím, že ho překvapil skok. Já mu říkal,
The jockey was surprised, but such a spacey, big jump by the horse.
Prostě tam takhle balance, jo,
So,
a na 3.
he was trying to keep the balance, to catch the balance, and then he fell off.
The day belongs to Joseph as he joins the others to receive their prizes. They stand for the national anthem. It is a proud moment for them all on this historic day. There are no hard feelings between Pavel and Lucy.
She always beats me, but just wait till next year.